Hi everyone, it's Natty. Welcome to the B side with Natty B. I have a special guest today. Nia has been super busy with life and all her projects. So today I have Maury on the line. Maury, say hi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So Maury and I have been friends for what, like 3 years now?
About.
And yeah, it's been about three
Mhm.
years. And we've had a lot of things go on in 3 years. A lot of things, but Maury is an awesome, awesome, amazing friend. One of my very, very little friends that I have that I call friends. So
You are my only friends.
remember when I first met your family and they thought that I was fake
Yeah, exactly.
because
They're like, what? You have a friend? How's this possible?
when I first met Maury's family, they all thought I was fake. So when I came to her house and everyone finally met me, they were happy that she was not making me up. So
Yeah, so we have a
so
very tight
Maury,
knit family. So outsiders are normally scrutinized.
yes, it was an audition to continue to be your friend.
Yeah.
So I picked Maury for this episode because Maury and I are very much into beauty. And I did Maury's hair for a while and her eyelashes and all the beauty things. So we're both really into makeup, and looking good. And we are around the same age. I'm gonna say that.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
So you're welcome. So my birthday's coming up, and I'm going to be 36 years old, and I feel every bit of 36. But I do feel like I'm aging appropriately, I guess you can say. So I want to talk a little bit about Botox, fillers, society's expectations on what women should look like, filtering, over filtering yourself, and just little preventative things that you can do that have worked for the both of us. And I don't want to say slowing down the aging process, but I feel like aging gracefully would probably be the better term for it because we're all getting older,
Yes, we
whether
definitely
we like it
are.
or not. It like I look at I cannot believe it's already mid-September. That's every time I turn around, I'm like, wow, it's almost October. Wow, like Christmas is around the corner. Wow, look at our kids. Like we just celebrated your son's 18th birthday,
Yep.
your middle son's 18th birthday. So the clock is definitely rolling, whether you like it or not. So I think that we need to bring awareness to aging and how you can age without looking
Rough.
like a rough, fake.
Yeah.
I'm listen, if you have the money for it, go have it, do it. But I appreciate when people admit that I got this done. Or, yeah, I look like this, but I also do this. Like, don't try to sell me on this whole idea of you working out and you went from being probably 100 pounds overweight to now you have abs and you have zero loose skin. Like, that to me is not realistic. So I think that we should bring back the honesty. I don't know if you remember when there was like this whole big thing on the internet, on Instagram, where if a celebrity was promoting something and it was part of an ad, they had to say that it was a part of an ad. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I think that people should do that with selfies or when
Hey,
they're when
look, I got my new nose.
why hey hey, I have laser to tighten my stomach every night. Like that to me, like Be fucking real. Own it.
Hell
Own it.
yeah. Shoot,
If
if
I
I
had millions of dollars
hell yeah. I'll be head to
and
toe.
I even your toes would have
Hell
freaking
yeah.
fillers or like some type of sonogram to make them like the creases nice and even. You
Exactly.
know what? We all these celebrities and my mom and I talk about this a lot. Like J Lo, for example. J Lo looks fucking
Amazing.
great. Great. She's what, 52, 53, somewhere around there.
Older
J
than
Lo
me,
looks
that's for
amazing.
sure.
J Lo looks amazing. And one of the things that I will say about JLo, outside of this whole her selling this beauty line, I haven't looked into it. I don't really believe in celebrity beauty lines because
They'll get paid for it.
they get paid for it, and I feel like it's not a an honest. For example, she says that she's never gotten fillers done before.
Call bullshit.
I exactly. I highly, highly, highly doubt that. Only because and when I initially went to my first Botox consultation, the lady pulled out this picture of a face and she shows you that once you turn like you're 35, once you're in your 30s, this part of your jaw naturally the bone density goes, so that's why this begins to sag.
Hmm.
So it's not necessarily some people are like, oh, you're just fat, or oh, you just have, a double chin or whatever. Naturally, this right here starts to deteriorate a little bit so that this begins to sag. That is something that happens to everyone. It is scientifically proven this happens to women, and this is why. You can't tell me that JLo's just hasn't sagged. Like that she's drinking some magic water
She made a
that
pact with the devil.
right, right. Or she's drinking some baby's adrenal gland juice or something to like make sure that everything is snatched and in place. I would rather her come out and say, "Yes, I've gotten this done, but I also do X, Y, and Z." Like I'm sure she eats super healthy. I'm sure she drinks, whatever pure collagen she has in the tree in her backyard. Like that to me is realistic. Be real about what you are doing so that we don't fall into this depression. I
No,
don't know
more
if
of
it's
a,
depression, but we
you don't fall into, it's taboo to say you've had this work done or whatever the case may be. That own it, yeah, I got this done, but I also work out like crazy. I drink, the way more than, the amount of water I'm supposed to. I do drink my vitamins. I do this, I do that. I do my facial, routine. I do this to maintain, but I also do this to prevent, right? Because that's why you do Botox, is to prevent, because you don't have anything. You
correct,
use it as a prevention to make it so
correct,
that you last longer without wrinkles.
right. And I feel like society has social media, forget society, but social media has made it to where people like our kids, they don't understand the difference between reality and an exaggeration of reality. For example, the over filtered pictures. Every time I look at Khloe Kardashian, she has a different face, a different nose. I don't know if she's white, if she's black, if she's Spanish. I don't know what she is because every single picture, she looks like she's promoting this prescription, Nurtec or whatever it's called for migraines. And in the video, her face is like so she looks great. She has lost the weight. She's, done whatever she's done. There are angles where sometimes she looks like the little ant emoji. Let me see if I can pull up the ant emoji. But I feel like they're not realistic. Like for someone like my daughter's 13 years old, for my daughter to think that she's fat. because she's looking at this example of someone who has money, who has the means to continue to make their body look great. It's hard to explain that to someone that's young.
Right.
And it's hard, even us as women, it's hard for us to think that 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 we should value ourselves less because we don't look like them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the ant body emoji. Let me see.
I mean, I see these, these youngins and these, you know, gorgeous women. You got to give it to them, regardless if they have work done or not. They're
Yes.
absolutely gorgeous, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get with the program and I need to
Right.
do things in order to at least, not look my age or look at least, 5 to 10 years younger. Uh,
Yeah.
I do
A thousand
the
percent.
Botox. I started doing, like you said, the jawline. So I started doing Botox for my jawline because of my TMJ. And when I went to go, she was like, "Oh, and this also, lifts up your jawline and it makes it, everything more defined." I'm like, "Yes, bonus! Not only am I doing it for medical reasons, but and I did, I noticed a huge difference, and it gives you that confidence and to be able to run with these hotties that are out there and not feel like
Yeah.
you are falling apart next to them."
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a whole body and mind connection. For
Hmm.
me, my face can look flawless if I am not working out, if I'm not if my body accumulates fat very quickly. So I don't necessarily gain weight, but I can be the same 205 and looked three different ways if I start eating like shit or if I don't go to the gym on a regular basis, if I'm not lifting heavy weights. Like I can be 205, but
You hold it
look,
different.
yeah, hold it different.
Yeah.
You went with me dress shopping.
Yep.
I weigh more now than I did the day that I got married. I think when I got married, I was probably like 198, maybe like 193, anywhere between 193 to 198. I now weigh 205 pounds, but I weight distribution, definition wise, my ass looks more firm, more lifted, my arms look smaller, my midsection, I have more of a waist. And that's a difference of what, maybe 10 pounds. But that 10 pounds, I had more body fat at 193 than I do now at 205. So for me, it's it's definitely mind body for me personally. And I think that strolling, I don't care how beautiful you are, I don't care how good you look, I don't care how great your relationship is with your spouse, I don't care how much money you have in the bank account. When you sit there and you stroll all day long and you look at these people who condense their lives in 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever the case may be, even if it's a tiny little drop, you feel like you can be better at X, Y, and Z because these people are doing so well.
Right. They're like, if they could do it, I have to at least try and get
Yeah,
get somewhere
yeah.
near it.
And you start comparing yourself. It's
Oh,
natural to compare
automatic.
yourself to other people. J-Lo, for example, J-Lo is older than the both of us,
Hmm.
and she looks phenomenal. Then we have people like the Kardashians. They every other month they look different. So
Yeah,
it's
sometimes I have a
very
hard time
hard.
telling who's who. I'm like, wait a minute, is that
Yes.
Kendall? Wait, is that
Yeah. Yeah, it's very hard. When something is in your face all the time, it's very hard to like say, okay, and that's my biggest reason. I haven't been on Instagram in months. And originally I did it because I was going back to school and I wanted to stay focused. And if you don't believe that you're addicted to the internet or to social media, look at your productivity
For real.
in your iPhone, and that shit will blow your mind. Because when I first deleted the app on my phone, I would literally open my phone and go look for the app. And even though the app wasn't there, like my subconscious would be like, "Oh, let me go find the app," with the app not being there. But that's a real thing. So I think for us being, working class, we can't keep up with the Joneses. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we do to maintain our youth and make sure that we not only for how we look appearance wise, but I think that also affects our self-esteems and how we look at our significant others. So, Maury, how long have you been doing Botox?
For about 3 or 4 years now. Yeah, I started because my cousin was doing it. I didn't think she needed it, but she was like, "No, now look at me." And she tried to do a facial expression, and I didn't see a difference. Well, that's because I didn't know it freezes your damn face. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I started doing it because I had taken a picture with my husband, a selfie, and when I smiled, I started seeing the crows next to my eyes, and I'm like, oh hell no, that's not happening.
Now, let me ask you this because I have a little. Not it's not big, but I do have a little bit. Do you do the full on Botox or do you do the baby one that gives you a little bit more? It doesn't, from my understanding, it doesn't like paralyze your face as
Right.
much. And I could be,
That
do you do the baby
yeah,
one or do you do the full
no,
blown?
I do the one that still has some movement.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. I
not
do the
not
same.
full
I do
on
the
freeze
same.
because if not, I wouldn't be able to even. I'll be drinking out of a straw. It'll come out the other side if it was that case.
Feel like this.
No, yeah, I do
Yeah.
I think it's the dye sport or something like that, or
Yeah, it's like not as potent, I guess
yeah,
you can
it's not
say.
Botox. It's not the Botox brand. It's
Right,
another one.
like it's not the Botox, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been doing it for 3 to 4 years. Do you regret starting so young, or do you wish you would have started
I wish
sooner?
I would have started sooner, a lot sooner. I
Okay.
wish I would have done what you did and started doing it as a preventative. Because a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you're gonna do the Botox. If you stop doing it, then you're gonna just wrinkle up." No, that's just not how it works. You know.
Yes, and that is a big myth, and that was something that I believed for a long time. So I'm gonna be 36. We won't say how old you are because you're just as old as me. But for me, I 1,000% thought, oh my God, if I start this, number one, it's not cheap.
No.
So let's just put it out there. It is not cheap at all. I don't I think she only does 15 units on me. And the first time I went, she, excuse me, I had a consultation and she was like, scrunch your face. And I was like, what? Like, I could not do it. So she, she was like, you've had to have had Botox, like your muscles are so relaxed, there's no way. And I'm like, lady, I have never had Botox in my life. So basically, she told me the only thing that she would recommend is the filler right here for my jaw. And she gave me a quote for that, and I went on my merry way. The second time that I went back, we had a more in-depth conversation. I was like, look, I know I don't need it. I know that I genuinely do not use these muscles here, nor do I want to start using them. but I also don't want to be 40 years old and say, oh my God, I should have gotten that done so much sooner.
Yep.
So we literally, I do 15 units, which is n nothing, peanuts. And I probably get like one injection here, one or two here, one or two here, and then one where my eyebrow is. I have this eyebrow naturally is I just express this one more. So that's when I know that it's like time is because my eyebrow's like this and this one's like nice and calm. So, and that's it. Literally, it's peanuts. I'm in and out within 20 minutes. And to be honest with you, no one really knows. Like, it's not, Botox is not something to where I used to think, oh my God, it's going to make my face
Yeah.
like sucked up. And it's, Botox is not like that at all. It's literally
Very subtle.
preventative. It's very subtle. I was also on board with I believe that if I started it young, I was going to have to keep doing it for the rest of my life because the wrinkles were going to come back. And the reality of it is, I only get it done maybe once, maybe twice a year. That's it. Like it's been months since I've gotten it done. And you see my forehead. I mean, I look the same, but I also take care of my skin. I am all about whenever I wear makeup, I use like a balm and I like melt the balm on my hands and I literally go like this and I make sure that all my makeup is off and I wash my face again with something that has the different acids that I use to make sure that I don't break out to help with the fine lines. Then I use, whatever retinol I have, or I just started with Trentinol, which can be prescribed by your dermatologist. And then I lather my shit with moisturizer and I go to bed. That's like my daily routine. And then on top of that, I also try to drink at least 100 ounces of water a day. So that for me, between that and what I eat, I do feel like that has a lot to do with the amount of pimples that you get. Hormonal acne is a real thing. I
For
had it for a
sure.
very long time. I think for me personally, the one thing that helps with that is getting off of birth control. Usually people try to get on birth control to prevent that. For me, it was the opposite. I think that my body was just too, overwhelmed with it. So I haven't been on birth control. God, it's been a long time.
Uh-oh.
Probably 4 years, 4 or 5 years. And and that absolutely worked for me. So I think you have to have a routine. I
Oh
also
yeah,
get
for sure.
facials. I get facials. Shout out to Caroline.
Oh,
If you've never had a facial in your life, she
she's
is,
phenomenal.
yeah, she's the person to go to. She will even rub your feet. You
It's
can
the
ask.
best foot rub ever in my life. I, I literally
So,
have started snoring and everything when she's rubbing my foot.
so that's part of my routine. So you started about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
What is your, like, how do you know when you have to go back?
So, when I'm able to actually, have full movement of my eyebrows and you can see the middle part. See, I started off getting, I think the first time I ever went, I got 20. And
Okay.
from then, because of the fact that regardless, Botox it's Botox, so you don't move that muscle, which if you don't move the muscle, you don't create the lines. And creating the lines
Right.
is what, again,
Right.
so as long as you try to prevent those lines, even if you don't get Botox, it's, make sure that you're smiling and not frowning and all these different things but I started off with like 20. And then from there, throughout the years, I'm at like 40 something now. But I get my jaw. I get my jaw. I get my. I didn't know this, but when I do scrunch, I also do. There's the bunny thing, which is between your eyes and you're right there in your nose. That area right there. Apparently,
Oh,
I
right here.
scrunch that as well.
Yeah.
So I get it there. I get it. On the side of my eyes. But it's been, as soon as I see that my eyes are moving, or like my eyebrows are a little droopy, because that's another thing is, when you get Botox, you get like that, you get snatched. It's like, hey, I'm
Yes.
here, I'm
It's a
awake.
lift. Yeah.
You feel it.
It's definitely a lift for sure. What do you think? Because I know that you went to a few different people, right, when you first started.
Oh, girl.
What do you think? Tell me your experience with that. Like
So
going
I have,
from your first appointment to where you go now, because I go to the same place as you, and
yeah, I finally found
she
somebody that's
she's
good.
yeah. And you go to somebody different that I go to, but I feel like my biggest thing is listening to what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
From the very beginning, I went in and I said, I do not want to look like I have zero facial expressions. I was like, I want it to be subtle. I want my husband not to notice. I want no one to notice that I got this done, but this is more for me to prevent, wrinkles and stuff like that later on. So, tell me about your first appointment ever up until where you're going now.
So, first of all, I hid the fact that I was getting Botox from my husband until last year. Okay, so I was getting Botox for years without my husband knowing that I was getting Botox. And as soon as I told him, hey, I'm gonna go get Botox, he was like, no, you don't want, your face is gonna get all messed up. I know. And I'm like, no, it's gonna be fine.
No, I've been doing it for 3 years. Where have you been?
But I had to went for the first time that I went to this really renowned, known, um, you know, surgeon, here in Tampa, and I went and I got my Botox. And while he was doing it, he was talking to me about my goddaughter that he was actually dating at the time, and
Wait, so you went to an actual
yeah,
surgeon
I went to a
the
plastic a
first time?
plastic surgeon.
Okay,
Yes, the first time.
okay.
And once, like, he says, okay, well, it'll set, like, within 7 days. Well, girl, within 7 days, I looked like I was pissed off at the world. My eyebrows were so they were so, like the tops were like high, and then the middle part was like really low, so it looked
They
like
were
I
like
was.
this.
So Jason, and I didn't tell him anything, and I'm like, he's like, why are you so, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. He's like, oh, you just look pissed off. I'm like, no, I'm good. So I called the office and I told the lady, and I'm like, hey, I know it hasn't been 2 weeks, but I look like I am pissed off at the world 24/7. My eyebrows have drooped. And she was like, okay, just come right in. So when I went back in, he gave me more treatment of some other type of Botox. Oh, I call everything Botox, but it's some other type that is a little bit more fast reacting, and depending on how
Okay.
they hit the muscle. So as soon as he did it, my eyebrows actually lifted because of how he hit the muscle. And I'm guessing because he is a plastic surgeon, he knows all the tricks and stuff,
Right.
right?
Right.
So my eyebrows actually lifted right then and there, but a week later they lifted even more, which looked great afterwards. But yeah, I had to go through that. So mind you, I never went to him again because my goddaughter and him broke up. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going back. So I went to somebody else, and the same thing happened to me. But and
Again?
again, my eyebrows drooped. But I told them, I said, last time I got it done, my eyebrows drooped. I had to go back. So same thing happened. So it was already expected. So I went back and they fixed it. Again, a week later, it looked a lot better. So this place that I went to, that we go to now, I explained to her. I was like, look, and she's a dermatologist. So I explained to her, I said, look, I've done it before, and every time that I do it, my eyebrows droop. And she's like, oh, it's because you have a very small forehead. And, if they have to do it up on your hairline because you don't want to push it down. She knew exactly what it was.
Right.
And
Right.
thank God my eyebrows didn't droop at all with her. And they have not drooped with
Yeah.
going to this place. And I mean, again, at first I was scared, but it's only temporary, regardless, and you
Right.
can fix
It
it.
is. It is.
You can fix it
It
if
is
it does mess
temporary.
up your eyebrows. You just have to be patient for a week or so.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love it. I love it that, now I have to, be mindful. I'm a big smiler. And when I smile and when I have the full on, Botox going, I just look creepy because of the fact that. So now it's like, okay, I have to know that I can't smile so much in the picture because of the fact that I just look like I'm overly excited in all my pictures. But compared to how I was feeling when I looked at the pictures that I took before I even did the Botox to how I feel now, it's night and day because I look at the picture and you don't see any imperfections, you don't see any crows, you don't see any of any wrinkles anywhere, you know.
Right.
So it's like I feel a lot better, for doing so. And like I said, I wish that I would have done it like how you did and did it earlier on. So I would have
Yeah.
never had. Now it's like I'm playing catch up, right? If you would have done it
Right.
as a preventative, you would just keep on doing it as a preventative, and you're never getting those creases. You're not causing those lines.
What? How often do you go?
I go about 3 to 4 times a year.
Okay. So like every 3 to 4 months, let's
Every three
say.
to four months. Yeah.
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 Okay. So like I said, I only go maybe, we were actually talking about this before we started filming, but I only, this year, did we go this year?
Mm.
I feel like we did. We
We
probably
did.
went at the beginning of the year. Yeah.
We went in
We went at the
February.
beginning of the year. There you
Yeah.
go. So we went in February and it's now almost October, basically. And I'm about to go back now. And honestly, I'm just going back. I don't really notice that I need to go back, but I'm just going to go back because, again, I do want it to be preventative. And because it is preventative, I'm still sticking to the 15 units, which, a lot of places, first of all, never go somewhere that has a Groupon. Groupons, I'll share a little bit about Groupon. So, because I was in the, well, I am in the beauty industry, but when I had my salon, I was curious about Groupons and how they work. So, Groupons are number one, let's say that it says 10 units of Botox for $100. Automatically, the person or the company that put that Groupon out, Groupon is taking 50% of it.
Oh, are they?
So,
Wow.
yes. So if they're taking 50% of it, and now the person that's doing Botox to you is not the owner. So let's say that out of that 50%, they only get to keep 25%. So they're getting $25 to do treatment on your face. So I tell everyone all the time, to me, a Groupon is pretty much an insult to whoever is doing your services. And if you love Groupons, I'm all about it. I love a good deal. I would buy something off Groupon, an item. Would I purchase a service? Absolutely not. So to me, in your case, when you went to the plastic surgeon, he did not do a good job the first time around. And then the second time around, he was able, to, like you said, lift your brow based on doing something that works a little bit quicker. Going to a plastic surgeon for something like Botox is It sounds great, because they know all the muscles and all the whatevers. But I can also tell you that working for a doctor can get a Botox certification by taking like a 3-day course, which doesn't necessarily mean that you want to go to a doctor to get Botox. To me, you want to go to an injector. And what I mean by that is you want to go to someone who's been doing this for many, many years. Because with time comes perfection,
Yep,
with time comes being an expert.
exactly.
So for a long time, I was like, I'm absolutely not going to do it. I'm very picky about who waxes my eyebrows, who touches my face, etc. So when Maury sent me to this place, I went the first time as a consultation. I did not feel any pressure at all to do anything. I left. I thought about it for a while. I thought about what she said. And then probably a few months later, I made an appointment to go back. And that's when I got my first treatment. But I feel like it's okay to get Botox. It's okay to get fillers. People don't seem to, they either frown down upon it or they're too poor to get it done. So then it's automatically like a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that you have to be educated. I think that Botox is used for a lot of things. It's used for migraines, it's used for
Sweat. Yep.
sweating. Yeah, sweat glands. A lot of people get Botox injections under their arms for sweat glands. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you have to be educated and you have to go to the right person. So outside of Botox, what do you do like for your skin?
So I I always my skin routine, right? Because the fact that I have, um, big pores, right? So I always do my skin routine. I always moisturize. I found out I've been doing a lot of research for my type of skin and found that over moisturizing at night was bad. And they said that, do a very light moisturizer because at night is when your skin tries to rebuild. So so
Right.
it's all about knowing your skin, right? So, moisturize. If you're going to go out, always put SPF. I always put my it 50 SPF BB cream. That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I always make sure that if I'm going out, hazards of what is outside and stuff, I protect my skin. But like I said, I did the research and found that for my skin at night, I shouldn't be over moisturizing like I was, because it doesn't let my skin um, heal the way it's supposed to. I work from home. I don't go out in the hazard heat and do all that stuff. So my skin doesn't. My skin needs to be able to repair at night, and the way that my skin is. But I found that chemical peels are absolutely amazing for me because of the texture. I had acne very, very young, and I had all of the acne scars. And with the chemical peels that Caroline was doing, it was night and day, which I need to.
Oh, it's a thousand
Yeah, I
percent.
need to.
It is.
I need to go back big time because it is something that you should be doing. Like I did my 3 sessions of the chemical peel, but you have to keep it up. Everything that you do, you know, is you have to keep it up. Even though I do get
I
Botox,
don't.
I still have to maintain my skin.
Right, your
Yeah.
skin. Right. The Botox is just gonna. It does paralyze the muscle, so it does do a reduction of the appearance of the wrinkle. But you do have to keep up all your skincare routines. I mean, I for when COVID started, a lot of people stopped wearing makeup. I was one of them. And when I started wearing the mask was giving people the mask knee or whatever they were calling it because you are sweating, you are oily, you are exposed to germs. So then to go ahead and put on this mask and create like this barrier of overwhelming germs penetrating into your skin. It was giving a lot of people,
Irritating the skin.
excuse me, skin issues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
irritating the
skin is
skin. So,
sensitive. I would get,
per,
if, especially if I had to wear a mask 8 hours a day. Thank God I work from home and I don't have to. But those people that do,
right,
that is
right.
very irritating to your skin.
It is very irritating. And I wore a mask for a long time. So my skin definitely, was affected by it. Everyone's skin is different. Everybody's routine should be different, which is why I do not believe in celebrity skincare. I believe that everyone needs to find what works for them. And for me, when I first started going to Caroline, which we'll add her link to the podcast so you guys can book your things, all of your things. She does everything. She does facials, she does waxing. Um, when I first started going to Caroline, I had watched one of my other friends go to her for a long time. And I that's my thing. I let other people be the guinea pigs, and then I watch and I watch and I watch, and then I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable going to this person. So when I started going to Caroline, I did have a problem area right here, and my cheeks are usually like my main thing. One thing that I learned is that I don't care what product anyone tries to sell you, nothing erases your pores.
Yeah, for real.
Nothing shrinks your pores. Can pores appear to be smaller with proper treatment? Absolutely. But nothing is going to make your pores smaller. So where I struggle with my pores is on my nose. My nose is where my pores are the biggest, which it happens to a lot of people. So between getting my regular facials with her, I would get those every month, and then every other month, I would switch over to the peels. I have not gotten a peel in a while because it was summertime and I was at the beach every other weekend. So that's another thing too. You have to be very careful when you're doing these types of peels, being exposed to the sun. So I didn't get them during the summer, but I just booked a peel for October. But your skin has to exfoliate. And I don't think that people really understand that. Like we have weathered skin. We're not babies
Yeah.
anymore. So your skin needs to exfoliate. You need to exfoliate when you shower. It doesn't have to be every day, but either buy an exfoliating type of wash or buy an exfoliating type of glove. But your legs should exfoliate. There's no better shave than when you exfoliate your legs and then shave your
Oh
legs.
yeah.
There's no better wax than when you exfoliate the area and then go get wax. So your skin does need to shed, and that's what these peels do. They focus, she does a peel. While you're getting the peel done, she massages you to make you forget
Oh,
that your
it's
face
burning.
is a little on fire, a little on fire. And then that's when, you know, the next day, usually, first of all, when you leave there, your face is like snatched, like beautiful and glorious from every angle. It's like super glowy. And then as the next day comes, then you kind of start peeling. And then for me, um, I usually peel like right here, and then like this top is usually last. But you moisturize, she walks you through it. I've known multiple people that I've sent to get peels from her. They've all had amazing things to say. So that's definitely something that you should incorporate in your routine.
For sure. Especially,
Cleaning your makeup brushes,
oh, that's a
big
big,
one.
big one.
That is a big, big one. What were you gonna say?
I forgot. No, but when it comes to the whole, getting the chemical peel, I always said that I need to schedule something the next day because my skin takes a little bit longer to peel. The next day, I swear, like 10 years younger. I swear, and I'm glowing. My skin looks
I remember, I think, was
perfect.
it last year for my birthday? Last year for somebody something, you got a facial like the day before, and you walked in and your face was like snatched and like everything is like super tight.
Yes, it was amazing.
You don't see one freaking pore.
No,
And yeah,
especially my
yeah, it is.
forehead. My forehead was like glamorous. I was like, whoa. And I have big, big pores. So it's definitely night and day when you get a chemical peel. I know that there's a lot of people, back in the day they would frown upon, don't let anybody give you a
Yes,
chemical peel.
yes,
Yeah, no, that
yes,
is completely totally inaccurate. I mean, chemical peels, you need it, especially because of the fact that, I didn't know that I was over moisturizing. And if you over moisturize, your skin has no outlet, right? So, it needs to be able to peel off that skin, especially if you haven't been, like you said, exfoliating on a regular
right.
basis.
And it's hard. Honestly, it's hard to exfoliate your face. Like I actually have a product that I got from Caroline because I do use retinol. So retinol does basically it causes the first like layer of your skin to peel, and then I would have like these patches everywhere. So I started exfoliating, but one time I posted like my whole little like face routine, and I remember her commenting on my post and saying, what do you do to exfoliate that off? And that was like I was like, oh shit, yeah, I really do need to get an exfoliator because your lips need to exfoliate,
Mm-hmm.
just like people go get pedicures or whatever. Whenever, if you're a spray tan person, they encourage
Yeah, I
exfoliation
exfoliate
because you want to get,
every week because
yeah,
I spray tan every
yeah,
week.
yeah. You want to get in order for the tan to stick to your skin and look fresh and glowy and look like just walked off the beach in the Maldives,
Mm,
you have to exfoliate because if not, what happens is just like when you're wearing makeup, your whatever is dry, the makeup is going to stick there and it's going to exaggerate that area even more. So, exfoliation is a big one. Drinking lots of water is a big one.
oh, for sure.
Um, it's a you have to learn and do what's best for
Yeah.
you. I think for a long time when I was younger, like 18, 19, my skin was very oily. I remember in high school, I had beautiful skin, but it was very oily to the point where you remember those little oil pads that you would buy and like go like blot the
Yeah, I
oil
still
off
have them in
your
my purse,
skin?
yes.
I used to use those, like I would have to buy them in multiple packs at a time. And what I learned is that even if you have oily skin, you do need to
Oh,
moisturize.
yeah.
Just because you have oil does not mean that you don't need to moisturize. So you have to research, there's a lot of good research out there. There's a big difference between researching factual things and going on websites that are trying to sell you something.
Exactly.
So you kind of want to learn your routine, read reviews. That is my biggest thing. Anytime I buy something, I read the reviews. And I don't read the reviews to see what everyone is saying about it in a positive light. I read the reviews to see the negative reviews because I want to see what people are saying. Some people rate it a 2 star because their packaging was messed up or because the pump wasn't working. I want to know what this product did for you. And even if the review is bad, I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those that I rule for the underdog, so I'm going to go ahead and try it anyway. I really don't care. I want to try it for myself. And if it doesn't work out, nowadays we live in a society where if something isn't working for you, you just fucking return it.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
so many places that don't care why you're returning it, they will accept your return. So that is definitely the things that I would do and encourage others to do in order to start taking care of your skin. It's never too late to start taking care of your skin.
No.
Do should you start sooner? Absolutely. But even if you're 36, 37, 45, 55, you can start taking care of your skin. It's very simple. It's just initiating something different into your routine and seeing whether that works for you or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, we got to try to fight this aging as much as we can. Go down fighting because of all of
Every day I wake up, I have a new gray hair. That's if I could if I could figure out the solution for gray hairs, we would be billionaires.
yeah, because I
But
will not be one of those people that will let myself go gray. Hell the hell no. It's not going to happen. I will be in my casket with dyed hair. Thank you very much. Those, I mean, hey, power to you if you feel like,
are you gonna be like your dad?
you know, I call me vain, call me whatever you want, but yeah, the whole, aging gracefully thing, I will, I have no choice but to age, okay? But I will try to do everything in my power within my budget to help with that situation. And a lot of it is, I mean, never go to sleep with makeup on. That is
Yes,
like the huge, 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 huge thing. Never go to sleep with
that
makeup
is
on. Drink plenty of water and do a skincare routine. I mean, if you got the money to do the Botox, that's great because the less you with your face and your smiles and your
hell, even if you don't have the money, I am sure that you can go somewhere and say, "Hey, this is my budget. What can I do?" Because when I initially went, the actual so there's a difference between Botox and
right.
fillers. Fillers, they can be put in in your lips and your cheekbones, make your cheekbones bigger, whatever. They can be put like in your jawline. There's a big difference between fillers and Botox. Fillers are instant. Botox is not. So when I initially went, she was like, "Oh, you would just need one syringe." Well, one syringe at the time was like $700. I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck that! I'm not doing this
Hell
right
no.
now. That's way too
I've
much
never
money."
gotten any fillers.
But
Thank God, not yet. Not yet.
no, I don't think you need them. When she broke down the anatomy of the face and the structure, she was 1,000% not trying to sell me anything. I looked it up myself. I talked it over with, the doctors in my office, and she was 1,000% correct. There was nothing, she was not trying to sell me on this filler, but that is not in my budget. I cannot see myself spending, $700 every 3, 4 months on this.
Hell no.
Now, as I get older, will that change?
Yeah,
Probably.
as
Not
I
in any
get older,
lifestyle I
I'll
can see that on.
save for a freaking facelift. Forget the fillers.
I've seen some good facelifts and I've seen some that are like you should not be 80 years old with your face like your forehead like
No,
this
no, no,
snatched
no. That's why you
back
do it
and
early on so nobody tells the difference. Okay? You,
I know, and the reason why I use the age 80 is because we had a patient that came to the office who was looking for a cardiac clearance to get a
oh,
facelift.
shit.
And that was not her first facelift, nor will it be her last, I'm sure. But
But now they have like a
I think
mini
the
facelift
biggest,
where they just like
yeah, they have
grab a
everything.
little bit of your skin and twist it and pull it up, and then all you have is like a little like a pimple scar. I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I am so gonna do that when it's that time. I'm doing it, hands down.
Would you ever get
I
lipo?
I got a tummy tuck, so that's a yes. I already did that.
Why did you get a tummy
Oh
tuck?
girl, because I had three freaking kids that destroyed me, and I got huge, like a freaking balloon. I blew up like I was, skinny, and then I blow up. Every freaking pregnancy, I blow up with like a freaking balloon. I do huge freaking stomachs. So I lost all the weight after I gave birth, right? So all I had, and I thought, I didn't know any better. So I go to the doctor and I'm like, hey, I want to get lipo. And the doctor was like, oh, honey, you ain't got no fat there to lipo. That's all skin. And I'm like, ew, gross.
That's even
Yes,
worse.
that's even worse. And he was like, yeah, you need a tummy tuck. And I was thinking, because I heard, tummy tucks are super expensive. I was thinking, I'm going to go to Colombia or Costa Rica and go get my tummy tuck. But when he started explaining to me everything that they have to do for a tummy tuck and then the care
You do
afterwards, I
not
was like,
go
oh,
to
hell no.
Colombia.
Look, I saved and I got my tummy tuck here where I had my mom take care of me afterwards.
Yes.
But
That is the number one thing you never ever, and we are both Spanish. You never ever 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 go to a foreign country just because you get a discount, just because it's a little bit cheaper. I've known people that have gone, and I personally know people that have gone, and it's been a great
mhm,
experience. I don't know anyone personally who has had, a bad experience, but for me, that's just not for me. For me, you don't want to skim out or skimp out on something that is, first of all, that they have to put you under. Anybody that has to put you to sleep, you want to be damn sure that it's not the maid's baby daddy's sister who took a course online, and per the state of wherever or whatever country, they're able to do, this type of procedure. I know someone, actually a few people who, do you remember when they started to do the butt injections?
yes.
Like with the actual like syringe and like with fix a flat
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Where they look like
I
they have a diaper
I
on.
know a few. Correct. I know two girls and their asses look, I mean, phenomenal. With clothes on, they look like they just have really nice, firm, big asses. However, when they are not wearing clothing or very little clothing, people don't realize that when you have these surgeries, you have to keep up with that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just going to get a BBL, which is a Brazilian butt lift, or getting lipo or whatever, and then just moving on. It doesn't work that way. You have to get the surgery and then you have to make sure you're eating properly. Because what happens is if you are snatched to the nines, like your waist is like this and your butt is like this, but you drink Coca-Cola for breakfast and you eat all the carbs all day long, other parts of your body are going to start accumulating fat and it's not going to look proportional.
Exactly.
So that's another thing too. You have to keep up with that. You know what? Being a woman is so fucking hard. Like, it is so hard because you're you're expected to stay skinny, but be able to cook for your man,
And
but
work.
be able to work, raise your kids, take your dog to the vet, go grocery shopping, go wash the car, do this, that, and the third, drink water, make sure you exercise, make sure you don't get fat, make sure you keep your man
Okay,
entertained.
I'm
It's
already stressed
so
out.
much, it is so hard being a woman. And then on top of that, we live in a society where everybody spends time on social media all day, every day, and they just hyper focus on other women and how they look. The reality of it is, you don't know their story, you don't know their life, you don't know how miserable they are. You're only seeing this, you know, projection of who they are portraying themselves to be. So, I, shout out to all the women out
Yes,
there.
we got it hard.
It's,
We got it hard.
we do.
fighting,
We got it
fighting against
hard
the
and
time, not to age. working our asses off, taking care
Fighting.
of the babies. Yeah, it's just way too much.
It's it's hard out here. It is hard out here for women. One last question before we go. Have you had laser hair
I
removal?
did. So, this is something for
Tell
everybody.
me about that because I that's actually what I want to do for my
Okay, so
birthday. So tell me about
I
that.
will recommend laser hair. So, I got it because I wanted my, my golden, you know, goose down there to look good all the time, right? Without having to shave it because I have really coarse hair. So I went to go get, and I got everything done. I not only did my whole
Your
my
golden
whole
goose.
golden
Hmm.
goose, but also my back, my buttocks. So I got it all done, right? But laser hair removal. So first of all, the whole reason why I started to go do it is because I started getting gray. I started seeing gray down there. Okay, and I'm like, oh hell no, this is definitely not cute. Okay, so I was like, oh no, I need to get this removed so that Well, come to find out, okay, that I did not know. Okay, laser does
Doesn't
not
work.
work on gray hair. So after I got it done, when stuff starts growing out, the only thing that grows out is freaking gray hair. So I'm like, this is retarded, okay? Not only does it hurt like a bitch, okay, it hurts like a bitch, especially the coochie area, right? It it
Yeah.
hurts
You're so sensitive down there. You
so
are
bad, so bad. But let me tell you,
so sensitive down
that
there.
shit grows back so quick. So the only thing,
Look who's
oh my
here.
baby.
I didn't know she was here, and I felt something on my leg.
So the hair on your cooter grows back super quick, right? So I got the
Like Coco's
yes,
hair. She needs to be groomed already. Look at her.
but your bikini. So the other reason why I did it is because I got a lot of bumps on my bikini area, and I thought that was very very
Yes.
ugly. Well, guess what? The bikini
It's
area,
very
yes.
unattractive.
Well, the bikini area does not grow back, and my bikini area looks amazing. I have no hair in my bikini area whatsoever, and it does not
Say
grow back.
no hair, no
Anybody
hair.
looking for laser, I would say, if you're gonna do it before you get grace. And if you're gonna do it because of your bikini area, just do your bikini area, and don't do your whole coochie because of the fact that that stuff hurts like a mother and it grows back. It might, I mean, it didn't grow back fully, but it still grows back. But yeah,
Where did you go?
I went to some chick over there in Oldsmar. I haven't gone back, so. But again, I won't because
Was her name Joyce?
yes, I think so.
And she did it like per
Yeah,
appointment?
yeah. It's per session. I had six
Okay, yeah.
sessions.
I've been to Joyce before. Do you feel like 6 sessions was enough?
It was. You have to keep it up in your cooter area if you want to, because of the fact that it does grow back. But I have not had to keep it up in my bikini area at all. I mean, it is completely smooth and I have no bumps, none of that stuff, But the other area, again, in the parts that don't grow is, where I guess where I had my dark hair still, and now I have a whole bunch more white hair that grows because that's all you see. And I told her, I'm like, hey, I'm seeing a lot more white. She's like, yeah, because laser doesn't see it, and now there's no other color to change, to do, you see the difference because of the fact that all you see is the white because the white comes through, and your dark hair is gone. So it's like all that grows is mostly freaking white hair, and I'm like, that's not cute at all.
Speaking of your cootie cat, I when I was 21, 22, so this was a long time ago, I worked at Aetna at the time, and I remember this lady named Brandy. She was older than me, older than me, but she looked really good for her age. And I remember her telling me one day I was like laughing at something because they were talking about getting old and this and that. And she was like, she said, you laugh now, but the day you get a gray hair down there, you're gonna think about me. And sure as shit, when I saw my first gray hair down there after I had a heart attack, I was like, holy shit, she was right. All these years later, and she was fucking right. So that's my plan for my 35s. I want to get my legs done, actually. I want to get my legs
So
done.
you have coarser hair,
And I
more coarser
also,
hair than I do. I mean, I
oh my
shave in
God,
like
yeah.
two
My
seconds.
legs are,
My legs, I had patches where I don't even grow hair in my
no,
legs. So I was like, it's not worth it.
no. I will say that I am starting to get, I think it's because I've been freaking shaving for so long and I've done waxing here and there. But I definitely want to get my legs done and I want to get like my stomach done and my underarms for sure. Because right now I've been waxing my underarms.
No.
But I'm telling you, being a woman is hard, isn't it,
Yes,
Coconut?
but look at her with her dyed hair.
Her pink
She
ears. Coconut, Coconut's so rough with her hair that we have to pin it back
you
because when I do the
you're
little
making it look
punk,
all fresh and
punk
crazy.
rock, show your hoo ha, Coconut,
She doesn't need to laser her hoo
to
ha.
wax.
And hers are all
So
white. You
yeah,
won't see it anyways.
I know it won't see it, Coconut. So Maury, thank you so much for joining me
Thank you for
and ending
having
with the
me.
golden goose with the golden goose. I will definitely be having you back. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Ladies, remember, stay confident. Don't let these hoes online mess with your confidence. It's a big thing. It's okay to age. I posted something the other day. It's okay to age. And it's very disheartening when I hear people talk about them not having money in order to prevent it because at the end of the day aging is a beautiful thing. I have friends who didn't make it to their 30s
Hmm.
and you hear these stories of people dying, especially now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm more like in tune to it, but I hear a lot of people
No,
dying
baby, it's
at
because of our age.
31, 32.
Yeah.
Yes. But seriously, 31, 32, 40. You're like, what the fuck? Like, we're right
Yeah,
there.
I know.
So take aging as a blessing. And until then, freaking laser it up, Botox it up,
Hey,
go get facials.
coconut oil.
I
That's cheap.
coconut oil, your everything, everything. Dye your grays. I actually, that's what I have to do that.
Bro,
I have
you don't even
a
want to
few grades
see
that I need to
my.
take
This
care
is
of.
the reason why I'm not on video. Okay? I told you earlier, not only am I grays, I got my whiskers out. It is bad.
So we're gonna put a link to
Caroline.
Allura Spa. Caroline, Allura Spa is where you should go for your Botox needs.
Yes.
One thing I will say, they are very, very, very professional there. They are not pushy at all. It's a medical spa, so this is the price. You either want to do it or you don't.
Yeah.
They're very knowledgeable there, very
Very
sweet,
sweet.
and we're also gonna put Caroline. She is amazing. I'm actually trying to get her on the podcast. We've had she's been busy, I've been busy, and then the day that she was available, I was not available. So we'll have Caroline on here soon talking about her different facials,
Her foot
her
massage.
waxing hoo-has, her foot massages, all of that. So I hope you guys learned a lot. Stay beautiful, stay true to yourselves, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.